hello again, you delightfully patient folk of the Titsy Web. I'm so sorry it's taken this long after promising in the beginning of the last one. Oh, I'll be doing it every 2 weeks. 2 weeks be buggered. Have you seen how many months it's been? Oh, I am very sorry about this. Life gets in the way. The problem is no one's paying me to do this. And do you know what? I wonder, is anyone even listening? And why have I backed myself into a corner where I'm recording intros and outros for these really rough recordings of my book? I don't know, but I guess I treat it as an excuse to apologise every time for the quality of the recording of what you're about to hear. You'll already know that these recordings were recorded in my top secret underground nuclear bunker Ministry of Defence cannabis factory. Ministry of Defence cannabis factory. Shit, that'll get me in trouble saying stuff like that. Although I think I've been in trouble. Oh, by the way, I'm no longer on licence now. How delightful is that? As of literally 2 or 3 days ago, I'm completely clear of my licence, my actual sentence. Because when you get imprisoned, you do half the sentence and then you're released at the halfway point. And most people act like dickheads, commit some crimes, or just don't bother turning up for the probation meetings and blah, 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 and they get recalled. I didn't. Huzzah! And, I've just been a good boy. But anyway, this is not about being a cannabis drug lord type. I never was really anyway, but this isn't about that. This is about my delightful story that oh my God, I can't wait for you to hear the full thing. So, yes, I'm not going to talk too much here. One thing I do want to point out, though, from the last episode, episode 3, there was one bit I'm surprised I didn't mention in the outro, because I think it's probably more towards the latter third of that one. I go into a rant about this time that my mate got me to stand in a parking space so he could just quickly turn around up the road so he could reverse into it to get a better angle. Meanwhile, another car comes along, nudges me out the way with his front bumper, and then fucking drives onto my foot. That actually happened. Exactly as it is there is exactly how it happened. And which is why I kind of go nuts saying it, on purpose. I can hold myself back, but I just allow myself to just be in the moment. I think that's probably, would that be method acting? Oh, who gives a shit? Either way, if you listen to it, I'm going nuts. And yeah, I was just reliving it. But anyway, I won't talk too much here. I will say there's a few. There's some things I really like in this episode 4. One of which, there's a bit where they're driving in a limo, and the Martin character is eating some Monster Munch. Yes, I'm actually eating Monster Munch. I think it'll be pretty obvious when you hear it. I am actually, again, that's method acting. I am actually eating Monster Munch. But there's also a scene that I really like where I do so many voices, so many different accents. Well, it's not just accents, it's actual voices in a row, one of which is a woman. So I do like John Lennon and the Martin character. It shouldn't be too difficult for me to do the Martin character. That is actually me. And then I do this woman as well. And then I do this New York lawyer. And it goes from one voice to the other, to the other, to the other, then back to that, and blah, blah, blah. And even though this is, remember, you're listening to the rough recordings. When these are recorded properly using my very fancy microphone in a controlled environment and not on a bloody mobile phone, there will be even more dynamics between, when I'm doing like a real fucking low down voice like this sort of thing. And then, hi, I'm a completely different person, so hopefully the dynamics of a better microphone will pick this up. Well, let's fucking hope so anyway. It cost me 1,500 quid. Either way, I'm pressing play now. I'm sure you'll be pleased to hear. Hopefully you'll also be pleased to hear the episode, and you'll stick around for the end where I'll be back. Fucking hell, just get on with it.
Episode 4. We open on Martin and a heavily disguised John watching TV in a shop. showing on many screens as we zoom out. CNN News reports, in an unprecedented case, TV schedules across America have been cleared for a special live TV event to be held tonight at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. A 2-hour show that will be hosted by not one, but 4 of America's biggest names in talk shows. Their one single guest, none other than the allegedly back from the dead former member of the Beatles, John Lennon. It will be syndicated live around the world and is already being called the TV event that could change TV forever, as a DNA test will conclusively prove or deny that a man has really come back from the dead 35 years after his murder back in 1980. Martin and John are now walking through the park. So John, what are your memories from 1980? I mean, do you remember anything from the day you were shot? Do you remember anything from after it, like heaven or something? I remember that day like it was just a week ago, because it was just a week ago for me. That is weird. I even recognized straight away the guy who killed me. That first morning after I came back and you showed me news reports to make me believe you, I took one look at him and thought, oh my God, that's the guy from yesterday. You mean yesterday, do you take anything seriously? Ooh, pardon me for having a bit of fun. Well, I've been trying to remember being shot, but the last thing I can remember is the journey home in our limo at the end of the night. Just a typical day with normal memories attached. The absolute last thing I remember is getting out of the car. Nothing after that. As if my memory was erased, like I've been protected from the trauma or something. Good Liverpool accent, by the way. I thank you. So any memories of the afterlife? Not a sausage. Zilch. Ooh, that's a retro one. Zilch. I don't know the last time I heard anyone say zilch. You probably also say things like, it's a cinch. Gee, that's swell. Or, oh, shucks. No, because I'm not an American and I wasn't born in the 1920s. By the way, I do, however, commend you on your use of the word sausage. That one I use all the time, especially as I often do have to make reference to not having much money, and I do have a penchant for sausages. So it's kind of comforting to think of such a tasty treat when I'm talking about my poverty. Yeah, I don't think you're poverty-stricken just yet, mate. You do own a computer. I don't think that's much of an indication, John. You can find them for free in tips nowadays, if you don't mind using Windows Vista. What's Windows Vista? Just something that was famous for not working a few years back, kind of like you in the mid-70s. Wow, you have been reading up on me. This past few nights I've been Googling you as I lay in bed on my phone. Now I've got to be able to get some crap gag out of that last sentence. Go for it. You have my blessing. Here goes. 1. You're Googling me when you're laying in bed? Well, I'm flattered, but spoken for. Nice. And really rather polite, considering you could have just said something about wanking. Oh, mate, it was tempting. Wanking always is. Actually, hurry up. I haven't had this morning's one yet, and I got one in the chamber right now. What? Only kidding. Oh, Christ, I'm glad. Yeah, I can always wait and have 2 later. Anyway, continue on your long list of crap gags about me Googling you whilst laying in bed on my phone. Well, all I got left is that you're lying in bed on your phone. Isn't that uncomfortable? You know, lying on your phone. Couldn't you feel it? You know, like the Princess and the Pea. Oh, my God. I just realised why you remember nothing from your shooting. Really, why? I think you must have brain damage because your last gag was fucking dire. Bloody hell, I thought you had some answers for me. Oh, and by the way, I was a house husband, bringing up my son in the mid-70s. It's still working. If anything, it's the oldest profession. I think you'll find prostitution is commonly referred to as the oldest profession. And incidentally, I believe a profession is something you get paid for. Nobody was paying you. It was simply a case of Yoko went out to work and you were her little bitch. Oh, a dagger through my heart and my testicles firmly retracted. Ew! Testicles retracted like a turtle head just popping back in. Actually, that does remind me. I need to make sure I've taken a few dumps today. Really want to unpack my bags before tonight when I'm going to be a bag of nerves. Live on TV in 32 countries for 2 hours without a toilet break. You know, that's 2 bags you just mentioned. 1 bag for nerves and 1 bag for shit. This has turned into a seriously highbrow conversation, hasn't it? A real think piece. So do you really consider the sausage to be a treat? Christ, that just makes me want to squeeze one out right now. Sorry, are you still talking about having a shit or back onto having a wank? Wow, this conversation really is falling at an alarming rate. I wonder if God only brought you back just to have this conversation. I wonder if the Queen ever has conversations where she has to choose between having a shit or having a wank.
I think when you're the Queen, you don't have to choose. You can have anything you want. Jesus, you don't think she ever does both at the same time? This has to be an all-time low. Anyway, hold that thought, because frankly, I can't hold this in much longer. I think I'm touching cloth now. Ew!
Sometime later, after the toilet has been through the wars. Right, so the limo is collecting us at 6 p.m. A little early if you ask me, considering we don't go live until 5 a.m. UK time, but I suppose it takes at least 4 hours to get to London from Liverpool, and apparently we have to be thoroughly briefed before we can go in front of a camera, or more to the point, be transmitted live to 32 countries. Although I guess this is a walk in the park for you, isn't it, really? Well, although I am used to insane amounts of exposure from my days as a Beatle, this is something brand new to me. I'm basically on trial, having to prove who I am, and that's not something I've ever had to do before. First I was a nobody, and nobody cared. Then I was a somebody, and everybody cared. First I was a nobody cared. Then I was a somebody, everybody cared. Bloody hell, what was that? Did you just listen to a word I said? Nobody, somebody, everybody, nobody, somebody, everybody. Are you broken, or did your brain just fall out your arsehole or something? Oh, sorry. I'm getting stressed now. I do this, or I start whistling. Either way, I need another shit. Hang on, how many is that today so far? 4? Don't get... Boom! The bathroom door slams closed. Later that afternoon, John is taking a shower and shouting out to Martin.
Hey, don't you think it was strange that I had my glasses on in the shower when I first came back and you found me?
Yeah, I was a little more bothered that there was a naked man in my shower at the time. Hadn't even noticed he was rather foolishly wearing his spectacles.
Hey, but seriously, who the hell wears glasses in the shower?
Well, I guess as you'd be blind without them, God thought it was the civilised thing to send you back with them. Even though if this were a TV show, you'd have to suspend your disbelief, as you are right, nobody showers with their glasses on. Kind of like when women get out of bed on TV and wrap a duvet around them, yet no one in reality ever does that. Actually, thinking about it, would have been nice if God put you in some underwear in my shower as well. Would have been the civilised thing. I really could have done without having to see your meat and 2 veg.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly natural. We were born naked. It's just what God gave me.
Yeah, and unfortunately gave it to me as well, and I really didn't need to see it again. Seen it all before on that album cover of yours, with Yoko and you, stark bollock naked.
The album you're talking about is called 2 Virgins.
Yeah, well, it now troubles me to think back and remember that actually yours and Yoko's were the first naked bodies I ever saw.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You don't forget being age 6 and flicking through your older sister's record collection to find the scariest photo you ever saw.
Hang on, why was our naked bodies scary to you?
Well, I'd only ever seen my own little bits and bobs which looked nothing like yours. You looked like you were wild animals all covered in fur, and I remember thinking you had what looked to be a tail coming out the front. Oh, God. Harrowing stuff for a little boy. Probably why I like to keep on top of manscaping nowadays.
I take it by manscaping you mean trimming back the hairs.
Trimming back the hairs. Doo-doo-doo.
Well, I noticed from all the filth you got on your computer that nowadays women seem to be trimming back a little too much now.
Trimming back a little too much now.
What are you singing?
It's an oldie you regularly find on VH1 Classics, although funnily enough it doesn't usually mention pubic hair. And what's VH1 Classics? Well, dry yourself off and for God's sake put some clothes on, then I will show you. 10 minutes later. Right, well here is a music TV channel dedicated to not playing you the most up-to-date awful crap that'll just leave you depressed at how bad the music industry has got. Instead, they play the stuff that was written and performed well enough that it stood the test of time. So basically it's like listening to golden oldies on the radio, but it's pop videos on TV. Yep, and I think you need to sit down and educate yourself on some of the music you missed over this past 35 years. You'll be invigorated and probably start writing new material yourself. Remember, this is the stuff cherry-picked from the charts over the last few years, not cheap crap. Enjoy, my friend. After about an hour, John is sitting listening to the London Boys' Requiem. Hang on, I know this. I know these guys as well. But John, this song is from 8 years after you died. How can you? I'm telling you, I know it and I recognise them both. Maybe it's a cover of an old song and you just think you know them. No. It's coming back to me clearly. Right, hand me that guitar. Martin turns the sound off the TV and John starts playing the same song on the guitar. Exactly note for note correct, off by heart, and even sings the chorus. You see, I don't know the version on the TV. I only know the version we played together on the acoustic. Right, well, I do remember this song from my college days in 1988. I loved it at the time, although the verse is shite. The chorus is so strong, and I guess I just treat their dance routines with a bit of tongue-in-cheek. I don't know anything about the London Boys, mind you, other than this track. Maybe they had that song for years before it got famous, and you played it with them, I don't know, at a party or something. I'm just clutching at straws here. I just can't think how you would have played this song with them. Can you look them up on that Wikipedia thing? Wikipedia? Oh my God. You mean Wikipedia? Right, here we go. There we go. Right, London Boys. Edem Ephraim and Dennis Fuller. They are best remembered for the top 5 hits. Requiem, awesome track, although the verse was basically just talking, and London Nights. Oh yeah, I remember that one as well. Not so bothered about that one. Both Ephraim and Fuller lost their lives when the car in which they were travelling was hit by a drunk driver in the Eastern Alps, Austria, on the 21st of January 1996. So they're dead. Oh, I'm getting chilled down my spine. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? What, that Mark Chapman has been killing all the musicians and he was the other driver? What? No! Hang on, how does that even work? Mark Chapman has been in prison ever since he shot you. And the other driver also died in the crash. And frankly, your train of thought follows some pretty warped tracks there, my friend. I meant, is it possible you know them because, I don't know, you met them in heaven? Oh my God, that's much bigger. Now I've got chills down my spine. Well, what do you think? How do you feel about that concept? I mean, you said you remember nothing of the afterlife, and that to you it just felt like waking up in my shower was merely the following morning after the 8th of December 1980, when you died? It is all starting to come back to me. I remember bits. These guys were really upset when I met them. I sat them down and played music to them to calm them down. I remember them saying they knew who I was and that they liked my music, although they made a point of saying they didn't like the more avant-garde experimental stuff I did with Yoko. Yeah, I think we could all do without that. I remembered also one of them had his wife with him as well, and they were really concerned who would look after their little boy who they'd left behind. Yeah, hang on, look. It says here, Ephraim's wife was also killed in the accident, leaving their 3-year-old son without parents. So you didn't meet them at a party. You really have been in heaven this past 35 years. John sits quietly, looking at the ground, not focusing on anything, and Martin can see his eyes are glazed over. He gently pats John on the back and says, "Look, mate, you're here now. You're back." For some reason, it suddenly feels even less like home now. Almost like my home is meant to be in heaven and I'm not welcome down here anymore. Well, firstly, God brought you back here, so he obviously thinks this should be your home now. And secondly, you don't have to imagine anymore. How do you mean? Martin then sings John's own lyrics from Imagine.
Imagine there's no heaven. Well, you're already pissing up the wrong tree there, because you absolutely know there is. It's easy if you try. Well, that would be pointless now, as we've already established. No hell below us. Actually, I can tell you for a fact there is a hell, and the devil's real name is Benny. I know, you couldn't make this up. Above a soulless sky. This is a bit gay, you know, singing to me with your hand still on my back. Yeah, it is a bit, isn't it? I started to feel uncomfortable the moment I opened my mouth, quite frankly. Almost homoerotic, wasn't it?
Oh, God. John reacts in that all-too-common straight guy way at even the thought of another man touching you. They then both get up, brush themselves down, and Martin says, "Right, well, we need to get ready. Our limo will be here in 20 minutes. How the time flies when you're being gay." They both look out the window as the car pulls up. John comes outside for the first time, not in a disguise. Luckily, the driver hasn't noticed who he is and clearly doesn't know who he's picking up. It's just another job. Little does the driver know that one of the two men in the back of his limo could change the world, and the other could sell you some mint-on-card original Star Wars figures. Martin thinks to himself he could get used to being driven around in a chauffeur-driven limo. John just thinks it's a normal evening out. Now, well on the way to London, Martin drifts off to sleep, and God visits him once again. "So tonight's the big unveil, live on TV." Yeah, like at the end of Pimp My Ride or Changing Rooms, isn't it? Although they weren't live, and frankly I found the whole time limit thing a little dubious. Hey, do they still do makeover shows? Good point. I haven't seen them about in recent years. Yeah, I think there's only so many ways a person can look pleased that someone has just painted their walls a colour they'd never pick themselves, outside of a nightmare anyway. And I think stenciling rubbish shapes along all edges of your walls went out of fashion with... I don't know, something that was fashionable 15 years ago but isn't fashionable now? Wow, you're not your usual self. No, I'm not on form at all today, am I? I'm just really nervous about tonight. I mean, I'm going to be live on TV all around the world. That must be daunting, but quite an achievement, and you've done this all yourself. Well, you brought John Lennon back from the dead. I just ran with the ball. Nice analogy. Now, would that be American football or rugby? Oh, rugby. I'm going to play some rugby in the valleys. What accent was that? Indian or Pakistani? It was Welsh. Wasn't it obvious? Oh, I guess. Oh, it doesn't work if you have to tell them. I'm normally really good at impersonations and accents.
Go on then, entertain me.
I come from Birmingham, don't you know? Dudley, to be more specific.
Alright, mate, I'm from Liverpool. Do you want to fight? Do you?
Why, aye, man, I'm a bloody Geordie from Newcastle. I've always got my eyes on some lassie's tits.
I come from up north. I don't know exactly where. Probably Lancashire. I don't think it matters. Alright, mate, I'm in a right fucking sewer, mate, 'cause I'm a cockney. Alright, my darling, I'm from the West Country now, and we all drive tractors, and you can stop worrying my sheep, them's lambing. Hello, my little darlings. I'm from Ireland, don't you know? Oh, to be sure, to be sure. Sweet Jesus, saints be praised, and Mary, Mother of God.
Wow, I'm impressed, especially that last one. Mary, Mother of God. Hold on, how does that one even work? Dear sweet Mary wasn't my mother.
Yeah, I never worked that one out myself.
So what does Natalia think of your skills?
Well, she can't even tell the difference between the various accents.
Really?
I know, utterly wasted on that female I am.
Well, I don't know about that. I think you've done very well for yourself, considering.
Considering what? Oh my God! So you're basically saying that all I really deserve is a right old pig?
No, there wasn't.
Well, you've said it now, pretty much anyway. I mean, I'm reading between the lines here.
Well, anyway, you're going to be famous soon. I bet Natalia's impressed you're going to be on TV live all around the world.
Well, I told her yesterday that I couldn't have her stay this weekend, and now she thinks I've got another woman, I think. I was just going to phone her 10 minutes before we go live and tell her to put the telly on then. She likes surprises.
So she still knows nothing about what's going on?
No, it's all happened so quick. I just haven't had the time to sit her down and tell her everything. I have to start at the very beginning, after all, and explain that there really is a God first.
I love the thought there's still people out there who don't even believe I exist.
Well, speaking from personal experience, I think a lot of people have a healthy scepticism, because organised religion has always just seemed like a convenient way to keep the masses under control.
I always say religion's a fine thing, taken in moderation.
Did you just quote Denham Elliott as Coleman the butler from Trading Places?
Yep, what a great movie. Eddie Murphy's finest hour, in my opinion, and a really great ensemble cast.
I love it as well. It's in my all-time top 10.
Merry New Year! Beef jerky, got plenty, you know. But you're wearing lederhosen.
Ja, for sure, from Sweden. Please to help me with my rucksack.
Eggnog? Strip, you little shit, before I tell you a new asshole. Back home when we wanted a jacuzzi, we had to fart in the tub.
Hey, you was in the tank last night, bragging on your
limousine. Yeah! It ain't cool being no jive turkey this close to Thanksgiving.
It's called a quart of blood technique. Use it on a man, a quart of blood will drop out of his body.
And she stood on the ball.
Wow, that was an obscure one. You really are a fan. Hey, unrelated subject, but how come John had his glasses on when he first showed up in my shower? I mean, his original glasses surely stayed with Yoko when he died, and even if they were with him in his coffin, they'd have got cremated with him.
Well, I guess I'll let you into a trade secret. We have an opticians in heaven. So those glasses he has on are new ones. I always have to replace people's glasses when 90% of them turn up at the pearly gates without them because loved ones choose to keep them.
Couldn't you just fix their eyes? I don't know, give them laser eye surgery or your godly equivalent.
Right, well, I'll let you into another trade secret. A lot of people only wear them to look clever.
What, really?
Yeah, and to be fashionable. After all, an awful lot more people would wear contact lenses or just get their eyes lasered if they didn't think they'd get taken more seriously by wearing glasses. Look at Elvis Costello.
Yeah, glasses are his trademark.
And you know they're fake. He doesn't even need them. Just an image.
No.
God's honest truth. Quite literally.
Well, my eyes have been opened.
I'm once again glad to be of service.
So any pointers for tonight? After all, this is going to be the biggest night of my life.
Only that you should just be yourself and enjoy it. Don't fear it. And I'll close by saying, good luck, Martin. I'll keep my eye out for you.
Thanks. And I'll close by saying, it was a stone groove, my man. You are the most righteous.
Babulia, babulia, babulia,
ha! Babulia, 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 ha! Ha 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 ha! Both impersonating Eddie Murphy's foreign exchange student from Cameroon. Martin suddenly wakes up with the blast of a car horn as someone overtakes them on the motorway and the passengers are staring to see if anyone important is inside.
Ah, Sleeping Beauty's awake now.
God, I feel knackered. I don't think I got any sleep, you know. I was chatting to God again. Hey, did you ask him about my glasses? Yeah, apparently those aren't even your original ones. They're new replacements.
Well, I've noticed since I came back, I don't even need them anyway. And frankly, I don't even think these lenses do anything.
Yeah, apparently those aren't even your original ones. They're new replacements.
Well, I've noticed since I came back, I've not even needed them anyway. And frankly, I don't even think these lenses do anything.
So he does fix your eyes once you get to heaven. Hang on, why are you still wearing them then?
They look cool. Besides, I think I look more intelligent with them.
Unbelievable. Another hour goes by with John and Martin not saying a word, merely silently reflecting on the enormity of what's about to happen to them both. Martin breaks the silence, pulling open a packet of crisps, takes one out and looks at it before putting it in his mouth. He then starts chomping down on a fistful of them, and with his mouth full, he says, Is there anything nicer out there than beef monster munch? Well, I'm sure there's something, but I gotta say, they are very nice. We didn't have them in America, and I've never had them before. You have? We had them for breakfast a couple of times. I meant before this past week. Oh yeah, and don't think I didn't notice that you stockpiled the beef ones for yourself and only ever offered me the pickled onion flavour. Hey, there's nothing comes between me and my beef monster munch. You know, as a woman I read about in the news who only eats beef monster munch, literally even has to take an extra suitcase full when she goes on holiday. So that suddenly justifies you hogging the beef ones for yourself? Hey, it's nothing personal. I don't care if you're John Lennon, John F. Kennedy, or John Bon Jovi. I'm not sharing. I buy them in a variety multi-pack and normally give the pickled onion ones to Natalia. I don't think she even realises they come in other flavours. I think it's better she never knows now. You are a piece of work, you know, Martin. Thank you. I know that wasn't meant as a compliment, but in my life, I take them where I can get them. And anyway, oh my God, I just found a piece that's all beef flavouring powder. You're not actually going to eat that, are you? Isn't that just too strong? Well, it isn't for the faint-hearted, I'll grant you, but I'm going to do something I wouldn't even do for Natalia. I'm going to break a bit in half and let you try it for yourself. Your generosity knows no bounds. Yeah, I know. Right, there you go. John puts it in his mouth sheepishly, then lightly crunches down on the dark brown lump of powder and it crumbles on his tongue, bursting with flavour. Fucking hell, that is lovely. I've had Class A drugs that were less potent than that. Heaven, isn't it? Yeah, and I've been to heaven as well. You know, thinking about it, I'm sure it went away for a few years, then came back. Yeah, been there, done that. Ah, of course. So now you are kindred spirits with Monster Munch, almost like you were separated at birth, or more accurately, you died, then they were born, like the phoenix from the flames. Or the ashes, I guess. Oh, what a thought. Me, reincarnated in snack form. Yeah, come to think of it, even though they've been around a few decades now, you are a victim of bad timing, my friend. They kind of came in just as you went out. Well, there you go. The biggest crime of all. First I get shot 4 times in the back and die from my fatal wounds. Then, as if that's not enough, due to ill timing, I don't get to try out beef monster munch. Yeah, it's like rubbing salt into the wounds, isn't it? Or worse still, like rubbing in a monster munch beef flavouring powder ball, which is potentially even saltier than salt itself. The most concentrated form of salt in the known universe. You do know you're weird, don't you? Yes, I do. Sometime later, the limousine pulls into the main gates at the TV studios. Martin says, "So you ready for this? There's no turning back once we start." "Turning back to what? I've got nothing right now, and I can't keep sleeping on your box room floor." "Yeah, sorry I never found the camp bed to go with that mattress." "Well, maybe I'll buy you one, if this all goes well." "Wow, what a thought. You'll be rich again, if we can convince the world you're the real thing." "Yeah, and not just the $1 million we get if I'm the real thing." "What do you mean, if?" "I hope you are. We haven't even got a lift home if you're not." "Well, of course I'm the real thing. The point I was trying to make was that once it is proved 100%, I'll have my life back. And frankly, you can keep the $1 million. I'll have my own money again." "Wow, thanks! Now I'm really looking forward to the results of that DNA test. I was happy knowing I had some lovely YouTube money coming soon. I was going to buy a nice car. Maybe I'll get myself a train now. Probably not the best thing to commute with, though." "Where would I commute anyway? I work from home, and even then I don't work very hard. Now, maybe I'll get myself a Hummer. Arnold Schwarzenegger swears by 'em." "What, the guy who played Handsome Stranger in that film with Cactus Jack?" "Oh my God, you're right. He was in that slapstick comedy western with Kirk Douglas in the late 70s. He couldn't act for shit in that. Is he still about then?" Yeah. He ended up the biggest star in Hollywood and then went on to be the governor of California." "Bloody hell!" As the car pulls up, Martin and John depart the 50-foot vehicle outside a huge door saying Studio 2, where there is a woman looking to be in her late 30s eagerly waiting for them with a clipboard. She greets them in a broad New York accent. "Okay, my name is Carrie and you're gonna need to listen. We have a lot of things to go through and time is of the essence here. First, we gotta sign you in." "That's not a local accent to hear. Sounds more of an accent closer to my home in New York." You lived in New York?
Well, yeah, I'm John Lennon. It's where I lived for the last 10 years of my life, until I was assassinated there.
Yeah, sure you were, sweetheart.
Hey, hang on, I am John Lennon.
Hey, I don't have to believe you. I just want to make sure you're briefed and ready to go live in T-minus 3 hours and some change.
Sounds like we have plenty of time. What's the rush?
Trust me, sweetheart, 3 hours will go by in a jiffy, and we'll be left with our panties down if we're not fleet of foot. Follow me, boys.
As they follow down the long corridor like faithful puppies, Martin and John look at each other, but are almost afraid to say anything, as if the teacher is going to smack their hands with a ruler.
So how come you're here and they didn't want British crew?
Oh, we only brought over a skeleton crew of 12. The Brits are doing the techie stuff. We are here for the magic. I flew over this morning along with this tooth we're taking DNA from.
I thought the tooth was in Canada.
It was. Then it flew from Canada to New York with its owner, then New York to London with me.
Wow, that's crazy. My tooth can fly all around the world and I can't even fly home.
Yeah, your little stunt has caused a lot of people a whole lot of trouble.
The trio eventually stop outside a door saying silence on it. John whispers to Martin,
I bet even that sign doesn't shut it up.
So, this is our first port of call where you're going to give a DNA sample to our specialist. We'll be filming this and it'll be featured as an insert at some point in the live broadcast.
So when will they have the result?
Why? Are you afraid they'll say you're a fake before you get your chance at 15 minutes of fame?
Sorry, have I done something to offend you?
No, you've been a baby doll. But if you want my personal opinion on this whole thing, as a good Catholic brought up only 12 blocks from the Dakota building where the real John Lennon was shot, I think this is pretty offensive, and you're gonna upset a whole lot of nice people when you do this. What worries me is what the not-so-nice people are gonna do to you after.
You know, I don't have to listen to this. I can walk at any time.
Really? Before you get to promote whatever product you're clearly trying to plug?
I can't believe how unprofessional you're being. I expected you to be all smiles and have a nice day. But you're treating me like a criminal, and I'm telling you, I am the real John Lennon, and the DNA test will prove me right. And what are you gonna say when you're proved wrong?
Listen, buddy, rock stars don't come back from the dead. You're a clever guy who's managed to manipulate your way this far, which is frankly astonishing in itself. I'll give you that, but I'll give you nothing more, well, than professional courtesy.
Well, Christ, you've not even managed that so far.
Can I say something a moment? I've not said anything in so long.
Martin, the voice of reasoning, what would you like to add to proceedings?
Where are the toilets?
I'll get someone to take you. Hey, Barry! Silent Night here wants the pizza!
Hang on, did she just call me Silent Night?
Oh yeah, she's really pushing the boundaries of professional courtesy here, isn't she?
Martin is escorted away to find a toilet, and John is sat down in front of the cameras with a man in a lab coat, preparing to take his DNA sample. After about 20 minutes, Martin eventually finds his way back and approaches John.
I think I've got irritable bowel syndrome. She's enough to give it to anybody.
Oh, great, Twinkle Toes is back. Right, we can proceed to the next phase, the legal bods.
Halfway down the corridor is a blue door with just the number 20 on it. Carrie knocks and a voice tells her to enter.
So, this is Anthony Finkelstein-Rubinowitz, head of our legal team in New York.
Oh my God, Finkelstein-Rubinowitz. That's got to be the craziest name in the world. It even beats Silent Night and Twinkle Toes, and it's his real name, poor bastard. Yeah, not too Jewish, eh?
Okay, so I got some paperwork for you to mull over and sign for me. Just simple waivers, you know. If you should turn out to be a fraud, we get to pursue you for damages equal to the total cost of production, yada, yada, yada.
I'm sorry, what?
These are standard forms, don't worry about it. Just sign here, and anywhere else I put one of these little orange stickers.
There's pages and pages of this.
It's up to you if you don't want to read it all. I mean, if you are who you say you are, you got nothing to worry about, do you?
5 minutes later, after about 15 signatures and both of the guys pretending to read the documents, but really just looking at their hands.
Right, there you go, all signed.
Me too.
Well, gentlemen, I shall see you after the show.
As John and Martin are escorted out of the room, now heading towards the broadcast studio, Martin says, "Was it just me, or did he sound like he should be a boxing trainer in Rocky?"
Yeah, and I have a feeling he's as tough as well.
Bollocks to it. I just signed everything Cactus Jack anyway. Let's see him pursue me for damages. As they enter the huge double doors of the main studio, Carrie is waiting for them. "Hey, look, it's Carrie! Apple of my eye!" "Hey, look, it's Tweedledum and Tweedledee." "Oh, look, she's back on the name-calling." "So how long now, Carrie, me old sweetheart?" "We go live in 30 minutes, so I'm going to need you both sitting in position right away as lighting needs to be finalized. Can we get sound over here? We need mics!" We used to call her sort fishwife. I can imagine her actually calling out to fishermen on their trawlers and her still being heard 5 nautical miles out.
I don't know about 5 nautical miles. I reckon they could hear her in space.
Is anybody doing their job right now?
A man with 2 clip-on microphones walks over.
Thank you! At least somebody is earning his keep!
The man attaches the microphones and battery packs to the guys, while another man wheels over a large portable screen where we can see a live link-up to the American studio, where preparations are in full swing. Perhaps the most remarkable part is that a live poll will be taken throughout the show, with viewers phoning in their votes on whether John is the real thing or a fraud. The results of the DNA test will be given out 15 minutes from the end of the show, and a $100,000 cash prize will be given to a name picked at random from the winning votes.
I can't believe they're having a live phone-in vote on whether I'm the real thing or a fraud. I'm thinking of having a go. I already know the right answer, so I'm already halfway to winning that $100,000 cash prize. I think you'll find you're only halfway there if only one other person votes. Still, in for a penny, in for a pound. It's actually in dollars.
Good point. I may not be even eligible to vote. That's the American version of the show. I wonder if the UK broadcast will have its own number to call. Then I can win in pounds sterling.
I like the fact you already think you've won. Actually, do you really need the money? I mean, you should have $1 million to come from this, plus the YouTube money.
Hey, every little helps, and you can't have too much money.
Money isn't everything, you know.
Oh, of course. Imagine no possessions, says the man with over $200 million.
Really? Is that what I'm worth now?
I don't know. Are you really worth it?
You know what I mean. Is that actually what I'm valued at in 2015?
Yes, that's what it said online. Well, we still have to slip you neatly back into your old life before you can start buying yourself gold-plated armadillos and stuff. Mind you, if we play our cards right, it shouldn't be too long before you're wiping your ass with £50 notes again.
Actually, I use $100 bills.
Really?
No, of course not. Who do you think I am? I think you're John Lennon. Yeah? Well, let's hope we can get the rest of the world to think that too.
With that, a voice shouts out,
"Okay, people, we go live in 5 minutes."
I still can't believe I'm going to be seen live via satellite all around the world.
This is like deja vu for me. 25th of June, 1967. Me and my fellow Beatles were part of the world's first international satellite television broadcast in front of an audience of 400 million.
Wow! Yet another incredible fact about you I'm learning. Is there anything you haven't done before?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've never come back from the dead before.
Oh, sorry, my mistake. Actually, yes, I have come back from the dead.
You know, it's difficult to remember everything, you know.
He grins. So what were you doing live via satellite anyway?
We performed All You Need Is Love for the first time, actually.
Oh, hang on, yeah, I remember. You end up by singing like a slow version of She Loves You, yeah, 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 over the top of it, don't you? I've seen that clip before.
There you go. You could be a Beatles historian after all.
Another shout goes out,
"Okay, 2 minutes, people!"
Well, here we go. I'll be famous after this.
Yeah, well, fame isn't everything, you know.
Hang on, you said money wasn't everything. Make up your mind. Is anything everything?
Yeah, love.
Of course. All you need is love.
Yep. Love is all you need.
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 All right, silence, people!
Love is all you need. 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 Love is all you need.
The two carry on this way for about another minute until the sound man stares daggers at them and a voice says, "Okay, 30 seconds!" Oh well, here goes nothing.
Or maybe, here goes everything.
And that's the end of episode 4. Thank you so much for sticking around. You are lovely, aren't you? I think I fancy you a bit. Can I offer you a packet of beef monster munch? You can have one of the packs. I'll have the rest of the 6-pack. Thankfully, you can now get beef monster munch 6-pack, as I'm sure you've seen. Back when that was written, you could only get the mixed one, where you had to have the 2 flaming hot ones. That's all right, but the 2 pickled onion ones, fuck off. I mean, literally, I was buying 6-packs just for the beef, and then I'd slum it with the flaming hot one. It's not like, oh, I'm not man enough for the flaming hot. It's a shit flavour, but not as shit as pickled fucking onion. I shall be uploading episode 5 of this story in 2 weeks' time. I really will this time. I know I said last time, but whatever. Either way, today is Monday the 1st of July, the day I started my diet, the day I started my exercise regime, the day I just tried to get a bit more on top of my life, and this being one of those things that just adds a little bit of structure to it. Every 2 weeks, uploading the next episode of my John Lennon Imagine story. And seriously, you have to come back for the next episode. It gets so good. Even if I do say so myself.